Welcome to the very first in our workshop series on overcoming imposter syndrome. Okay, I am Dr. J. Nice to meet you. And if you've been following, don't be scared, our YouTube channel, you know that we've been doing some deep dives recently into some characters like Moesha. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you haven't, check out the episode. And we did one on Steve Urkel. We're doing one on Nikki Parker. So we're looking at those characters and how they dealt with feeling like a fraud, right? And today we're turning the spotlight on you. So in this workshop, you're going to learn one of the most powerful techniques for combating that voice in your head that says you don't belong or you aren't good enough. And it's called reframing. And it's like being your own translator, all right? Taking that negative internal dialogue and transforming it into something that actually serves you. Now, here is why this matters, right? That voice in your head, that voice, y'all know that voice, right? That voice in your head is telling a story. When you have imposter syndrome, that story is usually fiction, all right? It's not real, it's not fact. Okay, reframing isn't about positive thinking or ignoring real challenges. It's about seeing situations more accurately. That's just all it is, right? So before we dive in, grab something to write with, because like I said, this is a workshop. This is straight up educational, and then we're going to make some practical advice in there too, right? So we're going to do something that's, once again, practical, right? Because knowing about reframing isn't the same as being able to do it when those imposter feelings hit. Okay. And as well, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Can't stress that out enough. But let's get straight into it, right? So let's talk about why see, y'all see I'm tripping, man, with this word, right? Let's talk about why reframing works. Your brain has these incredible neural pathways, right? Think of them like highways that your thoughts travel on. The more you think a certain thought, the bigger that highway gets. When you experience imposter syndrome, your brain has built some major highways for thoughts, like, I don't deserve this, or I'm going to be found out. Research from Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck shows that when we believe our abilities are fixed, now when we say fixed, we're meaning we're either naturally good at something or we're not. It's black or white, that's it. So we're more likely to experience imposter syndrome. This is called a fixed mindset, okay? But here's the good news. Your brain has something called neuroplasticity, the ability to build new pathways. So reframing helps you create new mental highways that bypass those imposter roadblocks. A 2019 study from the Journal of Behavioral Science found that actively, right, challenging imposter thoughts reduce anxiety. Okay, what's my anxiety? All right, man, you know how to sing that Doshi real fast. But it reduces anxiety, and it also improved performance in high-achieving professionals. That's a key thing that they found out, right? So this isn't just a feel-good advice. It's science-backed strategies that we're about to talk about today, right? So here's some common imposter thoughts segment. That's to the editor. Now, let's look at some of the most common imposter thoughts and how to reframe them. As I go through these, think about which ones feel familiar to you. So let's look at this first one. Let me know in the comments if you ever felt like any of these, all right? So I only succeed because I got lucky. Now, y'all know who I'm talking about. The people that got into position because they think it was just luck or they was at the right place at the right time. How many of y'all have gone through that feeling? If you have, please raise your hand. I myself have gone through that several times, right? To where I'm in a position just because it was luck. That's all it was. But let's reframe that, right? Let's get rid of that feeling of I only succeeded because I got lucky. Let's reframe that. So let's say luck may have played a role, but I was prepared to capitalize on the opportunity, right? Just like DLC was talking about, preparation, opportunity, all that type of stuff, right? So it's just how you think about different things, right? We still have that feeling, but how we reframe that thought is going to change our highway, right? And if we think about it, many people get lucky breaks, to be honest with y'all. Success, oftentimes there is luck involved, and that is okay, right? But not everyone is ready to make the most of them. That's the key thing, right? Opportunity meets preparation. I can't stress that enough. You know, like Nipsey said, your preparation, your skills, and your hard work are essential to your success. Okay. Let's look at another one, right? Imposter thought number 2. I'm not as qualified as everyone thinks I am. Let's reframe it. I bring a unique perspective and set of skills that add value in different ways. Y'all see how that just changing that thought process, changing the wording as far as how you think about something can change your perception of something, right? So if you remember, right, if you looked at the last episode that we did on the deep dive where we talked about Nikki, despite returning to college, right? Y'all know the Parkers, it's the Parkers, dang, mama, you know them. Despite returning to the college, you know, in her later life, right? If you think about her life experience, it gave her insights that the younger students couldn't really relate to or didn't have, right? And that's what set her apart from everybody else, right? Your different path doesn't make you less qualified. It makes you uniquely qualified. You know, put some respect on yourself. Okay. Imposter thought number 3. If I ask for help, people will realize I don't know what I'm doing. Ooh, this one hit me hard, y'all, because I'm a soloist. And basically a soloist is a type of imposter syndrome. If y'all want to learn more about that, look at one of the videos I will do, or let me know in the comments. But I'm a soloist, so I don't like to ask for help for this exact thought, right? I feel like if I ask for help, somebody's going to say, well, this boy don't know what he's doing, right? Even though I'm supposed to be the most experienced in the room, or I'm supposed to be the smartest in the room, whatever, you know what I'm saying? People, you're going to have that perception of you're not qualified because you're asking for help, even though that's not true, right? Everybody is going to need help at some point in time. You're going to have to ask. It's okay to ask. But let's talk about how we could reframe that, right? Smart people know when to seek expertise from others, right? So if you say, if I ask for help, people will realize I don't know what I'm doing. Let me just say, I kind of know what I'm doing, but let me ask somebody to make sure, right? It's just, once again, how we reframe it. So think about the most accomplished people you know or admire. Just think about it. Take a sec. They all have teams, right? They have a mentor or they have advisors, right? You could think about going back to the old days with the kings. They had an advisory over them, right? The counsel them. When you think about the presidents, they always have a council surrounding them. They have advisors, right? So asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of intelligence and self-awareness, right? So please do not think that as something that is a weakness to ask for help. Imposter thought number 4. I made a mistake. Now everybody will see I'm a fraud. They're going to see that I don't know what I'm doing. They're going to see that I don't need to be in this room and they about to fire me. Let's reframe. Okay. So making mistakes is how humans learn and improve. That's how I want y'all to think about it, right? That's how we're going to think about these mistakes, right? Dang, I made a mistake, but it's cool, right? I learned from that mistake and I'm going to improve to where it don't happen again. That's how you reframe that thought right there. You know what I'm saying? Did you know that, I just like to always throw somebody out there, but did you know that Oprah Winfrey was fired from her very first TV job? Did y'all know that? Or did you know that Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team? Did you know that? Right? Mistakes aren't evidence that you don't belong. They're evidence that you're growing, right? So if you are not growing, if you don't have mistakes, can you say that you're growing? You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Imposter thought number 5. I have to be perfect or I'll be exposed. Let's reframe. So excellence comes from progress, not perfection. Okay. Key thing is how we progressing, right? Perfection is an impossible standard. Like I said, nobody's perfect. Shout out to Hannah Montana. Okay. Nobody's perfect. Nobody. And that keeps you stuck when you have these impossible standards, right? Growth comes from being willing to be imperfect while you continue to improve. That's where the real growth comes from, right? And just quick shout out, man. Quick pause. If you feeling the content, if you liking the content, feel free to subscribe to the channel right now. As well, if you want to really dive deeper into this, if you really want to learn more about this stuff, I have a whole free guide for you to take. All right, please click the link on the website. Click the link in the description. You will get a free guide for you to take. It's totally free. I'm giving it all away. Let's get back to this. So now is your turn, right? Because like I said, it's a workshop. I hope you got your pen and paper out. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to actually practice what we talking about. Please do not just consume this YouTube video and be like, oh, that was good. I've done the same thing, right? I know how it is on this YouTube out, right? So make sure you got your pen and paper out. Really take this like a course, right? This is actually course work, right? So it's your turn. I need you to get that pen and paper out. All right. And let's look at this, right? And if you get the ebook, it has a little template guide. If you or if you already have the ebook, then cool. You know, you could just do it on the template. But I want you to write down one imposter thought that you had recently. Think about everything. It's your job, personal life, whatever, but be specific, right? I want you to be so specific. What exactly did that inner critic say in your head, right? Maybe it was during the meeting. Or before you was about to give a presentation, or you were considering applying for something, right? You trying to get out the situation to a new career, job, whatever, right? Take 30 seconds to write it down. And this is just for you. So completely be honest, right? So take 30 seconds. Now that that's over, right? Let's work through reframing this thought together, right? Ask yourself these 3 questions. Like I said, I'm giving y'all everything. I'm giving you all the game right now. All right. So first question, is this thought actually true? Or is this an assumption? Y'all know what they say about assuming. Second question, what evidence do I have that contradicts this thought? Third question, how would I respond if a friend shared this same worry with me? And now I want y'all to take a minute and jot it down, right? Jot down your answers. Okay. And of course, you know, I like to go off on a little tangent, but that word worry, right? The worry word gets me because I go through it too, man. I be worrying about stuff. But the thing about worry is that sometimes we worry about things that's not even real, right? We start to get to worrying about situations that have not happened at all, or even it's possible they have less likely to happen, right? We start worrying about situations like, oh, dang, what if they don't like me? Oh, dang, what if they think this? Like I said, man, all this stuff is in my head right now. When I was thinking about worrying about something, I always realized, man, this is, nobody even cares around me to think. They don't know what I'm thinking in my head because it's just worrying myself, right? Worrying is defeating me. Man, that's just as I'm talking, y'all. That's as I'm just talking, man. But all right, now that you took that minute to jot down your answers, right? Now, using your answers, I want you to write a new reframe thought that challenges your imposter thinking. Now, remember, we're not looking for a blind positivity thing, right? We're looking for something that's going to be real and accurate. Okay. So you could say like, I don't, a thought could have been, I don't deserve this promotion. I don't deserve it. How did I get here? All right. And then you could transform that to, I don't deserve this promotion, to, I've consistently delivered results and grown my skills, which is exactly why I was considered for this damn promotion. Woo! Right? So take 30 seconds to craft your reframe, right? Reframe. So this reframe thought is your new go-to response when that imposter thinking strikes, right? So write it somewhere you can see it regularly, right? People put it on sticky notes. I usually just write it in my notes in my phone. Or if you got a daily calendar, you could put it as a reminder. But you want to put it somewhere that that you can see it though. Okay. So having a reframe is great, but knowing when and how to use it is key. Here are 3 strategies to make reframing a habit. Okay. Strategy number 1. First, identify your trigger situations. There's always going to be something that's going to trigger you, right? When do you most often experience these thoughts, right? When are you experiencing imposter feelings, right? Is it before a presentation? Is it when people are giving you praise, like, oh, you did it, you killed that, you know what I'm saying? You did a great job, shout out to you. And then you probably like, nah, that was luck, it was just a one-time thing. Oh no, you're silly, stop. Come on, man, y'all know what y'all be doing? Somebody say, man, you the best. You're like, nah, I'm just surviving. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what y'all be saying when somebody is giving you praise and you want to give it to something external. That is imposter phenomenon at its core, man. But you could be in a meeting with certain people, you know what I'm saying? When are these feelings coming up, right? Do you know your triggers? Because if you know your triggers, this is going to help you prepare for your reframes in advance. Okay, so that's key. Know your triggers. Number 2, right? Strategy number 2. You need to create a physical interrupt. Okay, so a physical interrupt. So when you catch yourself in these imposter thinkings or feelings, do something physical, right? People snap a rubber band on their wrist. Take 3 deep breaths, right? Or even just stand up if you sit down, right? Do something physical. This is going to interrupt your pattern, right? And then it's going to give you a moment like, oh, I'm feeling some type of way. Oh, you do something physical, bam. Now you have disrupted your common pattern, and now you can deploy your reframe. Okay. And the strategy number 3. This is something that y'all probably heard me say before, but I can't stress this enough. Some people like this strategy, some people don't. It just kind of depends. But I personally think you should always track your wins. Okay. So I got something called a victory journal. Feel free to go find that. But basically this is where you're going to document your times when you effectively reframe your thinking. Okay. So think of this as your personal journal, right? It's you're tracking all of it, right? You're seeing what positive outcomes resulted from it, right? And this is like your evidence log. So where you have all the evidence that reframing works for you specifically, right? So you're keeping a track of everything. Remember, reframing is a skill, right? So which means to get stronger, it takes practice. Practice? Yeah, practice. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Allen Iverson. But yeah, practice. Don't expect perfection right away. You have to practice this stuff. You have to get better at this. It's going to take a little bit of time. Not really too much. Just, you got to go hard with your practice. That's it. So we covered a lot in this workshop. You know what I'm saying? We covered a lot. I gave y'all a little bit more than I expected, to be honest with y'all. But hey, I had to give it away. Because you now understand what framing is, right? You understand the concept of reframing. You understand why it works on a neurological level, right? And then you know how to apply it in your own imposter thoughts. Woo! You know what I'm saying? So in our next workshop, this is something I'm thinking about doing. Let me know in the comments if y'all think y'all like this. But in my next one, I'm thinking about doing, I want to explore how we can build an evidence portfolio. that documents your accomplishments and makes it harder for your imposter voice to dismiss your success, right? So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, right? So you don't miss it. I can't stress it enough. Thank y'all for support. Please subscribe to the channel. I'd love to hear some of your imposter thoughts that you have in the comments. Please let me know. Share it with anybody if you think this is key. And I can't stress this enough. If you want to learn more about it, just go ahead and get that free guide that I got for you in the description or on my website. Appreciate y'all. And remember that imposter voice doesn't have to be the final word. You have the power to rewrite your narrative, right? So until next time, this is Dr. J with Don't Be Scared, helping you recognize your true value and your potential.